What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the 6. I'm Rob. Today I'm doing Kavalan, Amontillado, Manzanilla, and PX. All three of these are types of sherry. I'm going to do a review on each of them after I do the head-to-head today. They all came in this beautiful set that is pretty costly. If you were to buy this set, which you can't actually buy these anymore from my understanding, Larry from Kavalan sent this to me in a trade alongside this full bottle of Kavalan Amontillado Solist. Alright, all three of these, like I said, are sherry finished or aged in sherry casks, and they're different styles of sherry wine. Alright, so like your Oloroso and your PX, which is this one, those are the more common ones that Scotch drinkers know about. The Amontillado and the Manzanilla, as well as the Moscato, they're all different kinds that are not very common. Okay, I have this book, and I'll probably share more of the book with you guys when I do the actual reviews of each. But I'll have you look. That's basically what the Amontillado looks like. Obviously, I have that one right here. Okay, I have the Manzanilla. They're all just different colors. Okay, and the PX is blue, which I'll show you right here. Okay, so all three different. Like I said, I'll get more into detail about those when I do the review. These are paid for. Technically, I traded my bottle of Van Winkle 12 for this bottle, technically, and then this was a throw-in. I gave him a hat and, you know, some others. Like, we basically came to an agreement, and he said that to me as well. All right, very, very generous guy, super nice. Follow him if you don't know already. Larry from Kavalan. He runs the Kavalan on Facebook, and it's a super cool group. They share all kinds of information and news about Kavalan. All right, for those of you that don't know, Kavalan is the whiskey distillery from Taipei, which is in Taiwan. All right, I'm gonna pour these out really quickly. About half. Yeah, that's about half. Okay, like I said, the second portion of these I'm gonna consume in an actual review. So I'm not gonna grade them today. I'm just gonna tell you which one I think is best. They could all be amazing, and I might have a lot of trouble doing that, or there could be one that really stands out. Okay, so this is the Manzanilla, and to keep all things fair, these are all bottled at 54%. All right, so at least we're dealing with the same percentage. These can range from 50 to 59%, sometimes even 60%. They're all single cask. All right, so they don't know exactly what it's going to be at until they measure it and decide whether or not they're going to bottle it at that alcohol percentage. This one's giving me a little bit of trouble, of course. I'll just pop it off like that. Okay. A little bit more. Keep everything even here. Okay, as you can see, color-wise, the PX one is the darkest. That's pretty normal. PX is a pretty dark sherry. Manzanilla and Amontillado are lighter colored sherries. Not as light as your Fino, but pretty light. Okay, so let's go by color first. This is the Amontillado. All right, amber, dark amber, almost coppery color. Okay, This one is a touch lighter, the Manzanilla. And by a touch, I literally mean a touch. And then the Pedro Jimenez is substantially darker. Okay, as you can see. Just looking at the stickiness of the legs on the glass, it's absolutely insane. I'm gonna let you guys look at the box real quick, but again, in more detail, I will show this stuff when I do the actual review. They all come with a scroll. I guess I could open it and read the scroll, but to keep it authentic, I decided to keep it closed. Comes with very nice gold fabric and then description on the wall of the box. Heavy wood piano box, very expensive looking. The Amontillado just recently won a Whiskey of the Year award. The Manzanilla and PX both also won awards recently as well. The Amontillado and the Manzanilla go for about 500 American. The PX goes for 600 American. So they're all very, very expensive whiskeys. And this one in particular was bottled in 2010. Sorry, barreled in 2010 and bottled 2017. So it's 7 years old. It's one of the older ones that I've seen, but they don't often go much older than that. And that's because of their really hot climate, okay? The whiskey ages a lot faster because of the subtropical climate of Taiwan. All right, I'm gonna start from left to right based on your viewing. Okay, I'm gonna taste it without water first, then add some water depending if I need to or not. Okay, like I said, all three are bottled at 54%. The actual bottle that I have though is 57.1%. Okay, so a little different, but so I've noticed something very similar with Asian single malts. Okay, even the Amru whiskeys that I've tried, okay, they all have this, especially the ones that are Asian sherry, almost like a cumin scent. There's cinnamon, there's fruits, there's sweet notes, but there is that little bit of savory cumin or like an Indian spice. But this one's opening up already. So definitely not as strong in the Indian spices as the Kavalan sherry, which is this one here I reviewed a while back, and this is Oloroso sherry, this red bottle here. So definitely different, a little bit more subtle, and a lot more fruit. A lot of baked goods here too. Okay, so that's the Amontillado. I didn't try it yet. I'm gonna smell them first. Manzanilla, it does smell different. It's more salty. Interesting. A little more sweet maybe. And then this one is heavy with that savory type spice, you know, cumin, coriander, that sort of thing. But you're still getting the cinnamons and chocolates and fruit as well. Okay, as far as nose goes, I would say the Manzanilla is in the lead right now. This is my initial taste without water. Super rich. Tastes like it's a 20-year-old Scotch, if not older. Beautiful finish. Lingering. You don't need to add a drop of water to this. I don't even know if I'm going to. I might just sip water in between, but definitely not gonna add water to that first one. We'll see. Let's try all three first, and then we'll keep all things alike. Wow, that Amontillado is awesome. Wow, very different. Get like a minty, almost pine needle type taste, but less sweetness. Very nice. It's very different. Not your typical single malt. A little bit of saltiness as well. Ginger maybe. Not a ton of sweetness. Again, I have to remind myself that these are 54% because you're not tasting it on the palate at all. This one definitely smells stronger than the rest. Thicker. It has this very thick nose. You can tell by the legs on the glass, it's very syrupy. Super, super syrupy on the tongue. Touch more alcohol bite, I think. More chocolate, definitely on the chocolate side. A little bit of espresso maybe. Some like coriander or cumin. But it doesn't taste savory, it tastes sweet throughout. It just, you get those flavors. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna add water just for the sake of the review. Not very much, literally a drop. Probably bring it to about 47, 48%, not much more, less than that. Okay, back to the Amontillado. That changed it quite a bit. Get a little bit more orange this time now. Still sweet. A little bit of pineapple maybe. Definitely tropical fruits with this one. Some nutmeg or cinnamon. Interesting. So I feel like the Manzanilla improved the most with water so far. Some like bitter citrus notes on the back end. Still got that minty flavor in there. More fruity though with water. PX with water now. The water calmed the nose for sure. More on the sweet side. Wow. That water added a whole new level of sweetness to it. It's a lot more sweet. Chocolate. This is a tough decision. These are all really good. They all taste way older than 6 or 7 years old. I'm gonna have to taste these one more time. I might not even be able to tell you guys which one I like the best because they're all really nice. This nose though has improved dramatically on the Amontillado. Wow, that's so easy to drink. So far, that's been my best sip out of all 3 and all 6 sips that I've taken. Definitely my best sip right there. Just best way to describe that is baked fruits, a lot of baked goods, a little bit of cinnamon on the back end. Also has improved as well. It's interesting. If you compare colors, these ones are virtually identical. Okay. And this one's a lot darker, the PX. But as far as taste goes, it's almost like a progression. I've lined it up properly where the Amontillado is the lightest of the 3. This one has like a medium to strong like flavor profile, and this one is a very intense flavor profile. Okay, so I'm gonna try the PX one more time. All right, man, all 3 of these are awesome. If I had to rank them based on what I've tasted today, and this may change for my review, so don't take it at word, because like I said, when I review these Friday, next Monday, and then the following Friday, there may be 1 or 2 reviews in between those just because I have some interviews coming up and also Canada Day's coming up, so I'd like to do a Canadian whiskey on Canada Day if I can fit it in. But these will be reviewed in the next maximum like 5 reviews. So 3 of the next 5 reviews will be, I'm gonna say in first place comes the Manzanilla, in second the Amontillado, and in third the PX. But I may be swayed differently depending on my next taste of these 3, because they were all really, really good. Okay, so I'm gonna take my time with these today, finish them off, write some notes, and then review them for you guys in the next week or so. All right. If you're looking to buy any of these 3 and you have that kind of money kicking around that you don't mind spending it, honestly, it's the equivalent of tasting a 25-year-old Scotch in my opinion. Really, really good stuff. I've tasted 25-year-old Scotch that doesn't taste as old as this, and this is a lot younger at probably 6 or 7 years old. So it doesn't really make sense other than the fact that you factor in the science and what heat does to barrels and what heat does to aging whiskey in barrels. and it's definitely evident in the taste and smell of these 3 whiskeys. Again, I want to stress that I paid for these in one way or another. All right, I paid for them through trade. I'm not getting these for free. I'm not promoting Kavalan for any reason. I just want you guys to try these things because they're fantastic. I haven't had a bad one. The one that I liked the least so far was the Solist, the Sherry Solist, which is the Oloroso Sherry Solist. But the Vino Barrique is still, in my opinion, #1 of all of them that I've tasted, and that one's cheaper than these ones. I'll give these ones another shot and know for sure, but at the moment I think the Vino Barrique takes the cake. These are all awesome though. Okay, so I highly recommend them if you have that money kicking around, and I'll give these guys a mark in their reviews coming shortly. You guys can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just type in Whiskey in the Six, you'll find me. If you haven't already, subscribe below. I think there might be actually a box in the top corner about this time showing up to subscribe. So if you don't mind, go ahead and do so. Cheers.